Welcome to More Than a Few Words, a marketing conversation for business owners. This is your host, Lorraine Ball, with another What Went Wrong. And today, joining me in the guest chair is Iris Goldfeder. And Iris and I have crossed paths on and off for more than 20 years. Two out of sync New Yorkers stranded in Indiana.
What the hell?
Yeah, but we've made it work. And Iris today hosts, she's the owner of Glass Stove Creative, and she hosts a podcast targeting and helping small businesses. And today we're going to dive into a topic that's near and dear to my heart. And did I say that wrong?
It's Gas Stove Creative.
All right, we're going to I said Gaslight Creative.
You said Glass Stove. So it's Gas Stove Creative, and the podcast
Service businesses. Yeah, and the podcast?
The Cookbook Recipes for Business and Marketing Success, to go along with Gas Stove Creative.
Okay, we're gonna start the whole thing all over.
Okay.
Glass Stove Creative. I think what I'm just going to do is refer to the podcast, let you say the name, because it's a little long, but as long as you remember the name of your podcast, I'm good.
I just put it in the chat for the name of the company.
Welcome to More Than a Few Words, marketing conversation for business owners. This is your host, Lorraine Ball, with another episode in our What Went Wrong series. And joining me in the guest chair today is Iris Goldfeder. She is the founder of Glass Stove Creative. And
Gas Stove Creative.
Damn it! Damn it!
Write it down.
I'm staring at it.
Oh my God.
I'm staring at it. I have it in front of me. I have your LinkedIn profile picked up.
That's hilarious.
Oh God. All right. And take 3. I never have this issue. It's just one of these days, right?
It's all good.
Welcome to More Than a Few Words, a marketing conversation for business owners. This is your host, Lorraine Ball. And today, this is another episode in our What Went Wrong series. I am so excited to have Iris Goldfeder join me. She is the founder of Gas Stove Creative, and she is also another native New Yorker stranded here in Indiana.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure how that happened, but we both make it work. And Iris and I have crossed paths many times over the years, serving small businesses and service-based businesses in the community. And so today I'm excited not to talk about their challenges, but yours. Iris, what went wrong?
Hey, so our podcast is the Cookbook Recipes for Business and Marketing Success, to kind of go along with the Gas Stove Creative. What went wrong? Gosh, it's actually something that I'm dealing with now. And it is that when we evolve, we forget to tell people that we've evolved. So people that have known us from like last year, the year before, right? They think we're still doing the same thing or talking to the same people, and we're not. So what I found was in the last 4 months, people were sending me referrals, and I'm sitting across from them, in the meeting going, why the hell did they send me this person?
They thought they were helping. They thought they were sending you exactly who you should be working with.
Yes, 100%. And I realized, I was like, oh, I forgot to tell them my target market changed. Duh. Because I used to work with startups, and, when you start your business or you restart your business, you're just trying to, get out there. But because we've come so far in the last, 2.5, almost 3 years, our target market has changed from, startups to 500 to 5 million. But nobody knew. I mean, I just assumed that they knew, right? Because I've been talking to them and stuff. And so I started doing a series on LinkedIn that I started last week, talking about evolving and about this, right? If you don't let people know, how are they going to know?
So, part of the challenge is you've got, because you've been doing this iteration of your business. I know you've had multiple iterations over the years, but you've been doing this iteration for a number of years. You have a lot of different 10 years.
Yeah,
10 years.
10
So
years.
you have a lot of embedded branding
Mhm.
around startups. You have a lot of embedded messaging on all sorts of channels. And so you're doing the LinkedIn series. What else do you do when you want to shift that perception of you?
I think it's having conversations, right? I mean, obviously the video on LinkedIn helps a lot, but I think also having one-to-one conversations saying, hey, like Lorraine, we'll go down to, Zionsville and have some pizza and be like, hey, my target market changed, right? Or, whatever it is, it's just like letting the people know, through your email list, through social, through, there's just so many, different ways that you can let them know. And I think the funny thing for me though is, and it's not that I won't work with startups, it's that I won't work with broke people. And
You know,
that's been like the biggest thing is like, if you're a startup, I don't care. And if you have money and you can afford to pay for the services, we start at 4,000. If you can, afford, then I have no problem with it. But if you're sitting in the meeting and you're like, oh my God, that's so much money, or, then, I, you know,
well, and I think that is a kind of a dividing line. There are two types of startups. There are two types. The one type is I'm starting this business. I'm going to make investments in it. Tell me what the investments need to be.
mhm,
Or I'm going to start this business because I really want a job, but I can't find a job. So I'm going to start a business and
yep,
I'm going to do it for as little as possible. And I'm going to get out in as quickly as I can.
yeah,
And one makes a good client and one doesn't.
exactly. And we, like we have payment plans. It's not like we won't do anything, but there's got to be that willingness there. I'm actually working with somebody who's not a startup, but who doesn't have a whole lot of money. So I said, well, you clearly need a new website. We'll help you, right? So we're working at payments with her. That I don't mind. But, for somebody to send me somebody and they're just like, oh my God, so and so said they do it for 2,800, then go to so and so because I am not changing my price to make, I'm just not doing it. So
So,
um
which brings me kind of to my next question, because as you move on and you're now, look, I don't do these kind of projects anymore. Do you have someone that you are now referring out to?
I do. Yeah. That does, cheaper. But at the end of the day, I think the people that are talking to me are talking to me because they want quality.
Mhm,
And they know. So when I say I have somebody cheaper, they're like, I don't want anybody cheap. I want you. It's like, well, if you want
mhm,
me, then, because we're like, we've put packages together, right? So it's like just a website, then a website with, SEO built in, and then, a website with an SEO plan, and then so on, so on, so on. So, we have different levels of stuff now. And because we have the different levels, we can put people where they belong rather than,
yeah.
just like saying, we'll build you a website and whatever.
So, have you sent your packaging to your referral sources so they can kind of get a sense of where you are price wise now?
I'm in the process of that. We're finalizing the packages this week. And once everything is finalized, we're going to be sending it out.
That's fabulous. You know, if you were giving advice to another business that, for whatever reason, whether it was that they moved up the food chain like you did, or maybe they were selling a product they no longer wanted to sell it and they have pivoted to an alternative, but they want to get the message out. What in this experience did you learn that you think you would tell them to definitely do?
First off, I would reach out to your referral partners right away. Um, so I should have been talking to people like 2 months ago because I knew I was going to be doing this and saying, hey, I'm making a shift, and I didn't. And, I am going to say holidays and all of that other stuff, got in the way. So I didn't even think about it until it was too late. So definitely take that step. So you want to let your referral partners know, and then let people on LinkedIn know. Do a video. Video is so freaking important. Like people just don't understand. Do a video. If you're not comfortable, I can help. But you want to do a video, right? And get that word out. And then also your email list. Let them know as well. But when you send that email, you want to be careful that you don't alienate the startups that you've been working or that are
Mhm.
with you. And I think that's going to be the tricky verbiage, and that's what I'm working with my copywriter today with.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you can do, especially when you're doing this kind of scaling up a little bit, is um, we love our clients and we have a limited number of spots for new clients, and they will only be they will be coming in. We only offer these services for new clients, so it reassures your existing clients, but it also
Love
says,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that whole limited number.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's true, right? Like, because we really do probably have like two startup spots left, and then we're done after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I so totally feel your pain because I did the same thing. I went through being a solopreneur to a smaller business, to where there were 10 of us and we were pumping out serious volume.
Yeah.
And I would get these referrals every now and then. And I'm like, who suggested you call me? Oh, I need to call them. It's been 5 years. I don't do this.
Right. Because I
Yes.
remember when we first reconnected before you sold Round Peg, I was like, oh, so how's Round Peg? And you're like, gone. It's like, oh, you know, um, and like it's just good to know. It's good to know. It's good to let people know. And it's a really good lesson to learn, right? So I was in a meeting last week and we were talking about mistakes, and I said, but they're not mistakes. If you learn, they're lessons. Right. So you don't have to put a negative, like everybody is like so negative. It's like, oh my God, forget. Yes, we all make mistakes, but if we learn, they're not mistakes, they're lessons because you've learned. If you don't learn, that's another story, right? But hopefully we're smart, we have critical thinking skills, and we can learn from what happened. So I know now when I go to my next level, we're going to be like 3 months prior, we're probably going to be doing a launch and saying, hey, we're launching our new thing. And, so doing it in a bigger way. And that's another thing you could do is like launch your new services. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Fantastic. And Iris, I got to tell you that one sentence, if you learn something, it's not a mistake, is really what this whole series is about.
Mhm.
It's about looking at mistakes, maybe hopefully not your own, and really being able to figure out, how do I do it differently?
Yeah.
Iris, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thanks for having me.
Remind us, my audience again, the name of your podcast.
It's called The Cookbook Recipes for Business and Marketing Success. And it's on all the places that podcasts live. It's also on Vimeo and YouTube.
Awesome. And I'm going to recommend that when you're done with this series, you want to hop over and listen to Iris's podcast as well. Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
If you've enjoyed this conversation, if you'd like to find other resources for your business, check out morethanafewwords.com. There you'll find hundreds of conversations just like this, workbooks, webinars, and so much more. This has been another episode of More Than a Few Words. Thanks for listening.